Thank you for tuning in to Thrive Coaching Podcast. I'm your host, Justin.
And I'm Zane.
And today we are going to talk about working in the household with your spouse, so your significant other. And Zane is kind of going to dive in deeper into what that actually means and what we're looking for as like a kind of like a kickoff for this episode.
Yeah, not so much what it means, more on different ways that you've seen how you can do it with your spouse. With me just now, again, getting into it, I feel like I repeat that a lot. Being able to see how you've kind of worked your relationship in it and how it works for you. And you have, other ways, I'm sure, to be able to work with your spouse and go back and forth.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I want to go ahead and ask you, you got it.
If you've been tuning into the podcast, how much I talked about a Whoop quite a bit. I finally got one.
Yeah, I've had one since April.
Yeah. Great purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want one, it's on my Amazon storefront already. It's under my favorite because, it makes you have a different perspective on your daily choices and what you put into your body because like little things just go a long way. Like if I had one drink, my recovery drops like 10%.
No, it's insane.
And that's something you would not think of. Like you feel fine, but your body's just drastically draining itself when you stay up late. If you're not getting, like my average amount of sleep is 5 minutes or 5 hours. So yeah, it opens my eyes a lot. Like we've actually been going to bed earlier because of it. And it might be also just the type of person I am where I have to like see it to believe it. So,
no, I told you were so skeptical about it when I first got it.
Yeah.
You're like, that's such a bogus, that's such a hoax. And I started talking to you about it. And yeah, the recovery, it tells you, hey, it catches your rhythm on what you normally do.
Yeah.
And then it goes and gets data and tells you how you need to recover and all that. So like mine, it will tell me, which it does yours. Okay, you only got 5 hours of sleep last night. You need 8 hours and 21 minutes of sleep the next night.
Yeah, I'm deprived like an hour and a half.
Yeah. So it keeps you steady. And same thing with the alcohol. When we went to that bachelor trip, I told you, my Whoop recovery was at 1%. It was so bad.
Terrible.
It was so bad.
Terrible.
And so getting back that next week, it was a slow. Yeah. My recovery was slow. It slowly climbed. It didn't jump from 1% to jump to 90 the next day. It literally shows you, hey, it's still building up before you can actually go in and start making sure your body actually heals. The Whoop's awesome. I love it.
No, I love it. I won't ever wear 2 watches like most people do. I can't do that. So I'll just wear a Whoop.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. And you're not left-handed, so I'll never understand why you wear it on your right wrist. But
well, it's because when I first
you did wear an Apple Watch?
I did wear an Apple Watch. Yeah. And so I put it on, I scheduled it or I got programmed it on my right hand. And then I was like, what the heck?
You would think it would have to be on your left hand because it gets your heart rate.
You can get heart rate on both hands. This works on both.
Yeah, but they always check your blood pressure on your left arm.
You can check it on your right too.
Yeah, they always do left though.
It doesn't make a difference.
No. Well, anyways, love my Whoop. Great decision. I wish I would have had it when I was playing sports. It'd been really cool to see how my body recovered after a game and stuff.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And even seeing the strain on what it took in your game, so you'd actually be able to tell.
Yeah. I'm gonna wear while I race, and I bet I could see a lot.
Oh, it's gonna show your heart rate freaking sky high, probably.
Yeah.
But moving on to what we're gonna talk about today, working with your spouse in the household.
Yeah.
And kind of how that works. Me and Kaylee recently just got done with the conversation because we're about to move into a house, and I kind of always grew up in an old school house. Had 3 sisters, 2 of them lived with me.
Yeah.
And then my mom and then my dad worked out of town. So when it came to actually cleaning the house, I did very little. My duties was to pick up the restroom, throw away the trash. Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
My sisters were the ones that did the living room, did the kitchen. They would swap back and forth. They would be the one sweeping. They would be the one mopping. So I grew up very traditional to where I didn't have to take that much responsibility on. Now, I did go ahead and have to mow the lawn, do all the yard work. That was something that I had to do. And moving into this relationship, there's not a, you can call so a small village working on the house. It's just two people. So divvying up those tasks that need to be done around the house. When you and Cambria first got into y'all's relationship, because it's changed, I'm sure, from where it started versus where it was at now. When you and Cambria's relationship first started, how did y'all kind of balance on what was done?
So when we first got married, I was in the field, so there wasn't much balance. Like if it happened at the house, she was taking care of it.
Yeah.
I would get home late, eat dinner late, wake up, do it all over again. So as far as balance on the workload, there wasn't much. On the weekends, I would help out. At the time, we only had Kinsey, so our house wasn't as crazy.
Yeah.
I always took the trash out. I always made sure. I actually like vacuuming, so I always vacuum. I still to this day, I'm the one who vacuums our house if Kinsey isn't doing it. Something about vacuuming has always been just satisfying to me.
I hate
Like hearing a little crunching and just knowing that you did something. That and sweeping has always been the two things that I love. The two chores are clean, or I guess things around the house are cleaning and vacuuming. I'll do all the time. So I do that on like the weekends. So as far as the beginning of our relationship, that's kind of how the balance was: trash, sweep, vacuum. I actually had to teach Cambria how to sweep. She had like no.
Oh Jesus!
And
Whatever.
the reason, no, I really did, and I'm actually really good at sweeping because that's like my first job ever. I just swept the warehouse. I was like 9, 10 years old. That's all I ever did. Just sweep every room, sweep everywhere, all the warehouses. So I just got really good at that part. But yeah, I actually did have to teach her because it's an art. Sweeping's art. It's like shoveling.
Sweeping is not
Sweeping
art.
is art. I promise you.
You make small little piles throughout the home, and that is it. There's no such
it's
thing
art.
as an art with sweeping
You probably
the
have
floor.
to hit it in the dustpan multiple times. I don't.
No,
One shot.
It's one swoop.
We'll see.
No,
We'll have
it's
a
not that hard to sweep.
But yeah, so that's how we balanced the beginning of our relationship. And kind of as I moved into the office, I started helping out more with more like organizing the house is kind of like my thing now. Because I know she's around all day. It gets chaotic. So I kind of partner with her and Kinsey and make sure the house is tidy before we go to bed. Or if I wake up and I see something messed up, I'll like put it back where it goes. But that's really that: trash, sweeping, vacuuming. Really the only thing I really do around the house as far as like task, because I still do work a lot. But it's more about I've learned as I've grown to be more mindful of the little things.
What I've noticed, like with your house throughout y'all's relationship, this is how Cambria grew up too, though. Cambria's mom and dad were both super spotless. They had to have the house cleaned all the time.
Yeah.
And not that y'all's house is dirty now, but before it was like no one ever lived in the home.
Spotless.
It was spotless all the time.
Yeah.
And now with the 3 kids, it's not dirty, but it looks like it's lived in.
Yeah.
And so it's funny to see that because Cambria's kind of relaxed a little bit now having the 3 kids, because when she grew up, she was a single child.
Yeah.
So with Kensington, it was spotless. It was like no one lived in it. Beds were made. Blankets were always folded. No dishes ever in the sink.
Yeah.
No, nothing. There wasn't a speck
Mm-hmm.
on the countertops. And so when y'all kind of break it up now having the 3 kids, is it something that you just have to more tell her, hey, like relax? Because with Jet's crazy. He gets toys out all the time.
Yeah. So
Oakley, she's the same way.
I do. I have to sometimes tell her to relax and tell her like it's okay. We're gonna clean it up. This is just a season of our life. We're building a new home right now. So like it's okay to have this mess. It's a blessing actually to have this mess, is what I tell her. Like we have 3 kids that made this mess. So that's the way I look at it. Is I have a different perspective on it. And I think she's finally starting to realize like not everything has to be put together. Funny thing is I'm actually probably more OCD than her when it comes to like things being in the right spot and organized, and like things have to be lined up and put away. And if we have too much junk, I like try to like hide it.
Put it in drawers.
Yeah, like I'm OCD when it comes to that, but I'm not OCD when there's like a mess. Like it doesn't bother me but when I put it up, it has to be in the right bin. Like I'm super OCD. It was like Jet's toys. I've organized them all the time, and as soon as they get messed up, it just throws me all off. Like all the Hot Wheels have to be with the Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
All like, and I think I get that from my dad because my dad's like, I'm not OCD at all when it comes to just like everyday life until I think it's important. But my dad's OCD like 100% all the way across. Like
Yeah.
everything is categorized in the right spot. Don't touch it. They go here for the rest of my life. Like I guarantee you, he puts his keys where they go every day. Like nothing changes. So I think I obviously being around that and having the same mindset, I have areas in my life where I'm like that, but I'm more flexible and kind of pick and choose. Like if I don't think it's important, I'm the last person to care.
Yeah. Yeah. With mine growing up, I'm trying to break this cycle right now going into this because I don't want, like I said, I never cleaned. I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And so I put a lot of that pressure on Kaylee, and she has a job. She coaches. We both do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so I have to look myself in the mirror a lot of the times and say, hey, no, she does a lot too. I really need to help. But with mine, it's like organized chaos to a certain extent. Like it's not super clean, but I know where everything's at. Yeah. And if something's not in that spot, it drives me crazy and it's gone.
Yeah.
Like I've lost two pairs of keys. One for my one.
I don't know how that's possible.
Dude, I don't know. I literally set them on the counter. I left it for 5 minutes, came back and they were gone. Haven't seen them since.
Someone's messing with you.
Dude, they're gone.
On your wedding day, you're gonna get like 10 keys for gifts.
I hope so. My work keys. Set them on the counter. Same counter. Gone.
Sounds like somebody's grabbing the wrong keys and forgetting to put them back.
There's no one there. I mean, if they would have been shown up by now, it's been over 3 months. What do you mean? It's gone.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, so with mine, I know where everything's at and everything has a certain place to go.
Yeah.
But everything around me, and that's where Kaylee, she constantly gets on me. She's like, Zane, I'm not your mom. Pick up after yourself. It's kind of like that thing. So there's this TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. So where it's like you have to get even to where like the mail and the hamper's right here, next to you. Throw it on the floor.
Yeah, and the wife throws out the trash.
And throws it out in the garage.
Yeah.
It's the same concept with me and Kaylee, because Kaylee does the same thing with the trash. I do the same thing with the clothes. And then I say one of the biggest things that I told Kaylee, I said, look, I'm really going to struggle to do this. Probably won't happen. I'd rather go friggin' walk on nails before I sit here and just fold clothes.
Yeah, that's where the line kind of draws me too. I don't fold clothes.
I struggle so bad with folding clothes.
Yeah.
And so moving into this house, something that we talked about was, okay, you fold the clothes, I'll do the dishes. I'm okay with doing the dishes. I just got to rinse them off, throw them in the dishwasher, call it a day. I cook most of the time anyways. I should know where everything's at.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't do laundry. Don't have any desire. Cambry gets mad because I just throw my shorts in the drawer. They have to all be folded. And I'm like, not happening.
Yep.
They're shorts.
I hang everything up.
Yeah, see, I hang my pants and shirts up, but all my shorts are in drawers.
Oh yeah, I don't hang up my shorts, but my shorts, it's mostly like basketball shorts. You just throw them in the hamper.
Yeah, and Cambry, you can't do that. She literally folds athletic shorts. I've never seen anyone in my life do that.
I fold them to a certain extent. I don't just crumble them and throw them up.
Most people just throw them in.
No.
Athletic shorts.
No one
So when you pack athletic shorts, do you fold them?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes. You don't
I
fold them at all?
Fold everything and throw out my athletic shorts and t-shirts on top.
You throw your t-shirts in too?
Yeah.
See, I can't fold t-shirt. I have to fold the t-shirt.
If it's a built shirt or like a nice, I fold it. But if it's just like a racing t-shirt, I just throw it in there.
No, you need to fold it. It gets wrinkled.
It's a t-shirt. You wear it to bed and around the hotel when you travel. Like,
yeah, but still, what if you have to go to the gas station? You can't wear it.
I change. I don't go many places not like dressed up.
I've seen you go to some places not
to like fresh with you, but like
yeah,
I never really like. Most of the time I go somewhere, I at least put on like joggers and like a nice built shirt or something.
Oh,
but kind of get back to where the subject is. And you talked about cleaning around the house. I do like cleaning the garage and the back patio.
There's nothing to clean in your garage. It's just Cambria's car. What do you
I
mean?
organize the garage.
It's literally Cambria's car and your golf cart. That is it. That's all that's in your garage.
I have my leaf blower. I blow out all the dust and
The little
dirt.
dust in there that's from there,
So
from the tires that get driven in. Yeah.
I mean, kind of go further in on this subject. What are some things that you think could possibly cause some, not issues, because it's not really an issue, but cause some areas of concern with you and Kaylee's relationship as far as household, not really chores, but just responsibilities as a husband and wife? So like your responsibilities as a husband, not around the house, but just like decisions being made, stuff like that.
Me expecting her to be Superwoman.
Yeah.
If you want
Can you
to
elaborate?
if you want to go on a deeper level, yeah. Um, with Kaylee, there's times to where I hold her to maybe too high of a standard as far as like doing things where I think, hey, you can do this, and this and that all at the same time.
Yeah.
And especially when we start to have kids, I know that's probably going to be an issue for me. It's going to be like, hey, you're at home with the kid. Can you wash my clothes, take my truck to go get an oil change, make sure to have dinner ready, and make sure the house is clean.
Yeah.
Like
I could see that.
That's something that I know I'm going to have to be very conscious in when we start having the family with her, to let her know, hey, she shouldn't be doing all these things by herself.
Yeah.
This is where I need to step in. That's where I see an issue of us going to where it could cause conflict. Because I do that now even a little bit.
Yeah.
Where she's like, Zane, I work. I still have a job. I still have to do this. Right now, we leave at the same time, and I just show up late. I show up home later than she does. She gets home at 4. I get home anywhere between 6 and 9.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my everyday.
Yeah.
And so knowing that those moments that I am home, I need to be present with her, but also make sure to help her around the house. That's where I would say my fault is, where I think I could see troubles happening, just because I'll try to expect too much from her.
Yeah.
When maybe she's drowning and needs help.
And that's a completely natural feeling, because I'm in year 5 of marriage, and I'm finally getting better at that. It's hard. You just assume that they're at home thinking about you and all the stuff you need done. But in all reality, they have their own things they need to do and take care of. So one of the things I've learned through just being around and experiencing moments with me and Cam and going through areas like that is I've learned to always put not myself in her shoes, but really I try to, before I ask her something, I kind of think to myself and bring back and say, all right, how important is this? 2, is there something I can do when I get home? And 3, I try to remember what she told me the day before, like what she was doing. Because we text all day. So I never want to, but if I know, like, hey, I know between this time and this time she works out, I'm not even going to ask her to do something, because I know it automatically not triggers her, but gets her overwhelmed, because she feels like she wants to take care of everything I ask. Like she wants to do that. That's like, that honestly, like that gives her fulfillment and stuff when she's able to, like, I hate saying serve me, because it's not, I know the Bible talks about serving your husband and wife, but it's not a bad term.
I wouldn't say that. It's, yeah, because
she likes serving me and taking care of me, and it gives her fulfillment. But I also have to think about her, give her time. She's at home with the kids. So I've learned to just ask myself those 2 questions, like, how urgent is this something I can take care of? Do I need it like right now? And then I put myself like what she's supposed to be doing that day. And I've learned what triggers her, what doesn't.
Yeah.
So
and then one other thing that I would say is, and it works, it's both me and Kaylee both have this, to where maybe, like you kind of said, I ask her to do something, and to me it's like urgent, it needs to get done because it's on top of my mind, and it's just going to drive me crazy until it gets done, so it has to get done right now. And for her, she's just like, I'll get it done. Don't worry about it. It's going to get taken care of.
We're both very urgent people.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest.
when
We don't move very slow.
when something gets on my mind, it has to be done right then and there on the moment.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I freak out with whatever it is, work, life, whatever I focus in on at that very second, no matter how big or how small. And with her, she's more relaxed. She's gonna get it done.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree.
that's where else I struggle. Even now, I struggle with that big time. I'm like, hey, can you do this for me? And she's like, yeah. And she stays sitting down. I'm like, hey, can you do it or not?
Mhm.
Like, if not, I'll stop what I'm doing to do it. Just,
Yeah.
are you gonna do it? Yeah, I'll get it in a minute. No, I want it done now. And I'm like, she's like, dude, just chill.
Yeah, you'll learn.
Yeah. So that's where else I struggle with right now, to get that done. So knowing when I give her a task to do it, I trust her. I know she's gonna do it, but just giving myself time to just breathe on it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna put you not in the hot seat, but
You can't put me on the hot seat, baby.
so you're the one that chose the subject.
I'm a cucumber.
We kind of try to rotate every episode to see what we're going to talk about. I can't get too close to the mic because my wife will yell at me. So I'm trying not to lean. So if you see me this episode and I'm like doing this because I'm thinking of Cambria sitting on the couch telling me to stop leaning to the left.
Just talk.
Yeah, but it's like a natural instinct. But yeah, I'm kind of going to put you on the hot seat. You've been around me and Cambria a long time now. Probably what? Like consistently 3 years?
Yeah, bro.
3.5 years out of our 5 years?
I would say longer than that.
4 years?
No, it was once I moved in with y'all. And I moved in with y'all.
That was a year.
That was not me and Kaylee hadn't even been dating for a year. And we've been together for 5
months. Probably 6 months. So you've been around us a lot. You've observed a lot. You've seen the good and bad in us. Mostly bad, probably. Unfortunately. What's an area that you've seen me and Cam grow in 5 years, as far as working together at the house or working together in our marriage?
The thing that I've seen you and Cambria grow in most. I would say y'all have grown to know each other's tendencies more. To where I was talking to David and Hunter about the trip.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were just sitting there talking. And I said, yeah, Cambria knows when Justin gets to a certain point and she makes sure he stops. She controls the situation so nothing crazy happens.
Mm-hmm.
Justin does the same thing with Cambria. Cambria gets to a certain point. We know how to handle those situations. So versus when y'all first got in a relationship, there maybe would have been like an explosion or someone getting mad. Now y'all tend to know each other's points and pressure points, to where y'all are more calm with each other. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all are still crazy sometimes. I'd be laughing. Crusty.
Especially if you hear us start setting up the podcast.
Yeah, no, it's great. But I would say y'all have learned each other's tendencies to know, okay, hey, this is where he's at. This is how I can best help him. Same way. This is how best she can help you.
Yeah.
To where y'all are slower to anger with each other.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it definitely came with just spending time together. That's the only way. The more time you spend with each other, the more you actually have those conversations, the better you get. You can't grow in that area without having those conversations.
Yeah, and I think both of y'all have wanted to learn more and more about each other every day, and it hasn't stopped.
Yeah, I would. That's probably there's probably a lot of truth to that. Me and Cambria are constantly trying to not only learn more about ourselves, but about each other and grow our relationship. And we know that it's not perfect by any means, but we try to at least get those small wins every day.
Yeah. I want to turn back and ask it. So you've pretty much seen me and Kaylee's whole relationship growing up.
Yeah.
See it all. What do you think's been the biggest change since we started this podcast?
Oh man, since we started the podcast, I can tell that it's not really learning each other's tendencies, kind of like how you put it, or learning where that benchmark is if it's time to maybe bring the conversation lower. I've noticed that you and Kaylee actually have started not making decisions together. We all started to like consult each other when decisions are made, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like not you don't have to like call her, but y'all used to just make abrupt decisions, but now
We or I?
you
Yeah. You don't have to make her.
Zane used to make abrupt decisions, and now I can see that I've actually noticed it that you ask her first, like, "Hey, Kayla, what do you think about us doing that?" Instead of you saying, "Hey, we're doing this."
Yeah.
So that's probably been the biggest thing I've noticed is you started making her feel part of the team instead of like a sideline player.
So yeah, no. Yeah, that went through a lot of arguments, a lot of back and forth for me to realize, hey, it's just a simple question. It's not like me and her actually just had a conversation about this working together as a team because we were sitting there talking and she was like, Zane, I trust you. I know you're going to do what's right for whatever's right in your mind. You're going to make sure that we get put in that situation. So I trust you 100%. Just let me know.
Yeah.
And make me feel like I have a say. And I was like, you have a say.
Yeah. Your say was like LeBron on the Lakers. Like you ran the whole franchise and she was sat in the back.
No.
Yeah. Now it's more like Kobe and Shaq.
Kobe and Shaq, I was just fighting all the time.
I can't think of that analogy, but you were LeBron at first.
No, I think a lot of that's come with age. I think with me being young and growing up and seeing that, I know I need a consultant. If me and her even have a chance to survive together, I have to be able to let her know, hey, what's going on. She tells me the same thing.
Yeah.
And I told her the same thing. Me and her have the same type of mindset when it goes into making decisions. Hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
And then if it's something like minor, like, hey, I'm gonna go. I want to go on this trip or something. Okay, like cool. Who's going?
Yeah.
All right, cool. That was probably a bad analogy, to be honest with you.
It was because that's not minor.
No, that's not minor at all. That was a terrible analogy.
I would say like maybe going to jujitsu.
Yeah, something like that. I guess you could say going to jiu-jitsu.
I wish going on a boys trip was minor.
No, but like the minor ones, like going to jiu-jitsu or her going to a class or something. It's just like, hey, what do you think? Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Versus the ones where going on vacation or buying a car, getting into a house. Yeah. Although the get into the house story was kind of funny. That was one of the old Zanes, but I knew she would be happy about it.
It was a gift.
It was a gift. I knew it'd be a slam dunk. So that was, hey Kaylee, I found us a rent house. What are we doing? So that one was a total gift. I hadn't done that in years, but yeah, growing in our relationship's been really cool in that aspect of it because I can tell she treats me better because I make her feel important.
Well, yeah.
And I treat her better.
The Cavaliers liked LeBron.
Yeah, I treat her better.
Chris Bosh and D-Wade liked LeBron.
Yeah.
No, for real. Yeah, I could tell. That's area in y'all's life. Y'all have definitely grown. It's like night and day difference.
Yeah.
Which also comes to just knowing that you're about to get married too. Like,